Hi, welcome back. We're going to do Little Red Riding Hood now. Okay, are you ready? Are you all sitting comfortably? Then we will begin. Once upon a time there was a little girl who loved to visit her grandmother. The old woman was always busy making something for her favourite granddaughter, and one day she made something very special indeed. It was a beautiful, bright red cape with a hood. The little girl loved it so much that she wore it all the time, and soon everyone started calling her Little Red Riding Hood. There's a picture of Little Red Riding Hood, and there's a picture of her grandmother making things, and there she is sitting, listening to her telling her tales and things like that. She loved her very much. One morning the little girl's mother said, "Little Red Riding Hood, your grandmother is not very well. I am packing her some things to help her feel better, and I'd like you to take them to her. But do be careful as you walk through the forest, and don't stop for anything on the way." So there's her mother making up the lunch, and there's the lunch. And Little Red Riding Hood is peering there. Look at her sitting up, looking up at her mummy. Isn't that lovely? And look, there's her baby brother on the floor. So she's got to remember to be careful and not to stop and talk to anybody. "I'll be very careful," promised Little Red Riding Hood, "and I won't stop for a second." So off she went with her little basket and waved to her mother until she was out of sight. She waved and you wave. Say bye. See you later. Just at the edge of the forest, a very crafty fellow was waiting. When Little Red Riding Hood passed by, he greeted her with a slow smile. "Good morning, my dear," he said. "And what a fine morning it is." There he is, waving. Can you see? Can you see? Little Red Riding Hood had never met a wolf before, so she wasn't scared. "Good morning," she said politely, "but I'm afraid I can't stop and talk." "No matter, my dear," said the wolf. "I shall walk along with you. Where are you off to this fine morning?" "I'm going to see my grandmother," replied Little Red Riding Hood. And there they are, walking nicely through the woods. "Then I think I can be of service," said the wolf. "I'll show you where there are some lovely flowers, my dear. You can make her a bouquet." Little Red Riding Hood knew that she shouldn't stop, but she did like the idea of taking her mother a special present, so she followed the wolf. "Here we are," he said. "Now I must fly. I am late for my lunch." And off he ran. Can you see him running away, looking very sneaky indeed? And there's Little Red Riding Hood surrounded by beautiful flowers, all ready to make a lovely posy for her grandmother. When Little Red Riding Hood reached her grandmother's house, she was a bit surprised to see that the door was open. "Is that you, my dear?" croaked a faint voice. "Do come in." But when Little Red Riding Hood crept up to her mother's bed, a very strange sight met her eyes. This is what she saw. Can you see? "Oh, grandmother," she cried, "what big ears you have!" "All the better to hear you with, my dear," came the reply. Little Red Riding Hood moved a little closer. Can you see grandmother in the bed? Can you see her big ears? What do you think might have happened? Shall we see? "Oh, grandmother, what big eyes you have!" she gasped. "All the better to see you with, my dear." Little Red Riding Hood took one more step. "Oh, grandmother, what big teeth you have!" "All the better to eat you up with." And the wolf jumped out and gobbled up Little Red Riding Hood in one go. Oh no! When Little Red Riding Hood did not come home that afternoon, Her parents were very, very worried. At last her father went to grandmother's cottage to find her. How horrified he was when he found a fierce animal in grandmother's bed, and with one blow of his axe he killed the wicked wolf. There you go. Then Little Red Riding Hood's father carefully cut open the wolf, and out jumped the little girl. She felt very strange indeed. "Where's grandmother?" she asked. "Where is she?" "I'm in here," cried a muffled voice from inside the wolf, and Little Red Riding Hood and her father soon pulled the old lady out and tucked her up in bed. "Oh, I feel a lot better now," Little Red Riding Hood's grandmother, as she tasted the good things the little girl had brought. There she is, eating her cake, feeling much better. Little Red Riding Hood's mother was so glad her little girl was safe that she hadn't the heart to scold her. "I know you won't stop to pick flowers next time, Little Red Riding Hood," she said, "because I will give you some to take to grandmother." And there she goes, off again to visit her grandmother. Beautiful story. The end. So keep watching, and I'll be putting new stories on all the time so that you can have a little bit of teacher time, a little bit of story time for when you're at home, staying safe and looking after mummy and daddy and everybody. Alright, lots of love. See you soon. Bye. I'm going to turn this off now without taking my eyes off you. Bye.